Welcome to Smut and Sensibility,
a podcast for romance readers and romance writers.
By romance readers and writers.
We are Amber,
Allie,
and Marie,
a group of learned ladies who love talking about the romance genre.
In this podcast, we will talk about our favorite books, writing craft, and how we make room for a creative life in real time.
So buckle up and enjoy the ride.
Cheers. Cheers to another episode, Amber.
Cheers.
Oh my gosh.
I'm so excited for this one.
So welcome back, everyone, to Smut and Sensibility. We are a podcast for romance readers and writers by romance readers of writers. And I'm Allie. I'm a doctor, writer, and after-hours academic studying English, local, and social history at Oxford.
I'm Amber, a corporate attorney by day and a romance reader and writer by night. Let's just hop into it, Allie. What do you think?
Let's do it. I'm really excited about this episode because I love nothing more than like researching and getting into the weeds about shit that I love and then talking about it to other people, which is ultimately how this podcast started.
It's true. It's true. I'm really excited too. We want to focus on books because that's what we do. So as we close out 2025 and a great year of reading, if we do say so, we are starting to look forward to 2026 and the releases that are on the way. So before we dive in, we're going to talk about our 26 most anticipated releases for 2026 because we had to do 26. We don't make the rules.
We don't make the rules, no.
We don't. But before we get into that, Allie, how many books did you read this year? Do you know? How do you track? Like, let's see where we're at in 2025.
Okay, so I am a basic bitch, and I do use Goodreads, and Goodreads I don't really like as a platform for a lot of reasons. But here's the thing: it is very easy. It's hooked up to my Kindle app, and I pretty much do a lot of my reading on the Kindle app on my phone. And how I do that mostly is I use the accessibility settings, and I have my robot Siri read to me in the morning or whatever when I'm getting ready, because I went through a period of time. This was before I knew about Libby, but I went through a period of time where this was like pandemic vibes. I was crushing like 4 audiobooks a week, and that's an expensive habit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, totally, 100%.
So, if you can wait for like some of the books to go on sale, like the ebooks, then you can kind of get a couple of more books for the price of one audiobook. And I do get the Audible subscription, and I do now have like a Libro FM subscription as well. But
same girl, same.
But I do a lot of ebook, and I would say I am definitely an ebook / audiobook. Pretty much that's exclusively how I'm actually reading. And then I'm a book trophy girl. So a lot of these are trophies of like books that I love or stuff that I've, gotten secondhand or at like a romance bookstore. But all of that to say, most of my consumption is audio, ebook, and specifically Siri reading the ebook to me, because I can listen to books while I'm getting ready in the morning. And I have like a 35 minute commute, and that's a great thing to do is listen to audio books in the car. Then I can get a lot in. And I know you are also really into audio, especially this year. And I just think it's the wrong take to say that audiobooks aren't reading. So
Agree.
Just like this podcast does not think that that's the correct take. But
No.
we are all busy people, and why are you shaming people for wanting to learn and consume knowledge and entertainment in a way that's accessible to them? Like, go care about something else, because
I was just going to say accessibility, number one and foremost, besides the fact that it helps us consume more when we want to in mundane tasks like driving and laundry and dishes. But I've had a few comments on our posts online. That's right, guys. We actually have some followers and some engagement. So thank you for those of you who are like here for the party. But talking about like being vulnerable, and when I posted that about like when people think audiobooks aren't reading, that they were like, yeah, I have accessibility problems where like reading is hard for me, and audiobooks has changed my life. That like I can consume and listen to books where I previously couldn't. Sometimes even holding a heavy book, right? Like if you have a chronic condition or arthritis, like books can be heavy, can be awkward, even just with like digital and a Kindle. So I just think in general, making any type of media more accessible is just flat down the winner all around.
I totally
So
agree. Yeah, and like I mean if you think about people and like the expectations that we have, you know, family expectations, job expectations, there's a lot of different responsibilities that we have to other people, to other institutions that are not ourselves.
there's not a
And
lot of time, you
there's
know?
not. So like take it back for yourself. Take it back for yourself in the form of audio. You know, it's worth it. And also just like I said, it's what like that's a weird take. Go care about something else. Like people are learning and growing and evolving and finding entertainment and joy in books and regardless of the genre, and like just like let people live their lives.
Let people
So
live their lives. I
all of
agree.
that
So I love
long-winded
this for
to
you.
say, I think I read 62 books this year. So
Hey,
I
girl,
never answered the
hey.
question. What a meandering
10 minutes later.
neurodivergent answer that was. Um, yeah, that was quite meandering. This is actually one of the lower years for me, but it's been a
I
busier year.
can't imagine why, Allie. Like you have just had a few things on your plate, just a
Yeah.
couple.
I will say I've probably read I'm just counting like this is fiction. I've read a lot of history monographs at this
Oh,
point.
for sure.
But
Yeah.
I'm just counting fiction. But what about you,
Or just think
Amber?
about your job, like how much medical reports
Oh
and
yeah. I
texts and
mean,
stuff you have to read. I mean, I know that doesn't count for like a book, but like this is just the enjoyment reading, not overall
for
reading
sure.
you do
This
in
is
your
the
life.
pleasure read. Yes. So
And
Amber, how many did
we love a pleasure read, you
we do love a
know?
pleasure read. That's what this podcast is about. So
Isn't it?
how much did you read? And I'm looking at this outline here, and Amber got some statistics. Where I gave you the vibes, and then Amber's going to come at you hard with the stats, and I'm very excited for it.
Well, when you first asked me this, I was like, I don't know. I should track my books, and I don't. And so I think we know now my goal for 2026 is I need to find a book reading tracker that I enjoy and will actually use. Because I think, like you said, there's some that may be convenient but aren't the best. And then
Yeah.
some that may be really good. But like if it's going to be hours of me doing manual input, spoiler alert, I don't have that time. No matter how pretty it looks. And we won't be doing that. So maybe there's something in the middle, or maybe I just need to do what you do, Allie, and be like, Goodreads may not be perfect, but for right now it syncs with everything and I don't have to do anything else. And then I at least have a good tracker. So keep me accountable, Allie, everyone listening.
Okay.
I need, especially since the new year's starting, it'll be so easy and clear how many books I've been reading.
New
So
year,
I
new
went,
spreadsheet. Ooh,
new year,
ooh,
new spreadsheet. So I think I read about 130 books, you guys. I tried to be,
Amber.
you know, it's kind of a lot.
That's mental illness. Complimentary.
Oh, you know, I'm laughing, but also I'm like, no, I'm a voracious reader. But also, yeah, I guess we were a little depressed when we found out our husband was going to be deployed for, 10 to 12 months. So
Yeah.
there's
Yeah.
probably some
Unexpectedly.
truth to that and escapism. So I try to be conservative with that number because I had to go into each one of my apps and kind of like look what I read, but they don't always show when you read them. So I was trying to be conservative and not dip into what I probably read in 2024. So this is what happens when you don't use a tracker like Allie and probably most of you smart people out there. I use Libro FM because I like that you can support independent bookstores
Love
with
Libro
your
FM, yeah.
with your audiobook purchases. I had 22 audiobooks from them.
Damn girl.
Bookshop. Yeah, bookshop.org. I had 7 ebooks. So that's a way you can purchase ebooks and support your independent bookstores as well. That's an app on your phone. You can't really get that app on your Kindle. So there is a limitation there
I think
just
you
for people who are
can.
listening.
I
Can you?
think you can use it on other e-readers that are not Kindle.
Yeah,
So I think
okay.
you can use it on like a Books, and then the Kobo, which I
The
really would
Kobo.
like to switch to Kobo at some point.
Maybe that could be our joint.
But yeah, I do wish I also have the bookshop.org app. I do wish that they have enabled the like text to speech function, because that's like what I use, and that's why I
Yeah.
use Kindle, is because it
They have
has
that.
that accessibility enabled, and they don't yet have that in the last update for that. But anyway,
Yeah. Audible, I had 37.
Woo!
Kindle 30.
Okay.
Physical books that I read that I remember having, 16.
Okay, girl.
And then Libby is 18 for my library. And I'd say it's about half audio, half ebooks. And it's very interesting when I like kind of added them out. I'm pretty close to 50-50 reading versus listening. So listening
That's
is 68. Yeah. And then reading is 62. So we don't need to dive into more because we already touched it. But like I am an avid reader, but I'm also a big fan of both reading and listening. And I don't need to choose between my favorite babies because I don't
You
have to.
don't.
I
You
don't.
don't
I
have to
enjoy them
choose.
both equally. They have their perks. So I'm just a big advocate for both. So that's kind of fun where we landed
Yeah.
in 2025 as a roundup. Now, let's get into our most anticipated releases at the time of this recording for 2026.
Okay, let's frickin' do it.
Allie, do you want to go first or do you want me to go first? Rock, paper,
I mean,
scissors.
should we could let's rock paper scissors. Okay.
Okay, are we doing one rock, paper, scissors? Yeah.
Yeah,
And do you
and
do
then
rock,
we're
paper,
gonna do
shoot
rock
or do you
paper
do it on three?
scissors. Okay, I think rock paper scissors shoot because then that like prompts us, right?
Okay, ready?
Okay.
Rock,
Rock
paper,
paper scissors shoot.
shoot. I get scissors too. Okay, ready? Let's do it again. We're going to do it one more time, you guys.
Okay.
Rock,
paper
paper,
scissors
shoot.
shoot.
I will just go first.
You guys, for those of you listening at home, we
so
both
embarrassing.
threw scissors both times.
Yeah, and also like couldn't find our camera.
We couldn't find our camera.
Embarrassing.
This
Sorry
is
for
really
you
exceptional.
guys.
This is a really exceptional audio content.
It's very good. Okay, so number one on our list is Gabby Green Knows Who Done It by our headmistress of Smut U, Sam Cheetah. And this is coming out so soon, you guys, January 20th,
Woo woo.
2026. Woo woo! And not only that, Gabby and Marcus finally bang. Sam has
God.
confirmed this for us. She told us we
Thank
could
God.
share. So like the spice is going to increase, the slow burn. We've put in the time. Also, this audio is done by Mia Hutchinson Shaw, who is just fan-fucking-tastic. We've talked about her before. If you love Julia Whelan, we think you'll love Mia. They're just both amazing in everything they do.
Mia also did Sarah Hawley's books, her Shards of Magic. She did Servant of Earth and Princess of Blood. And Mia is a powerhouse. And she's like, she should absolutely be your new favorite audiobook narrator. She's fantastic.
Yeah, she's so good. I'm just going to read the little blurb so that way you guys can kind of know what the book is about. And that's what this little craft corner is going to be. We did all the hard work and legwork, and we just wanted to share what we're most looking forward to.
Yeah.
So, in this fast-paced and deliciously witty spy rom-com, a single mom finds herself on a mission with the CIA as they attempt to uncover a cult. Perfect for fans of Finlay Donovan is Killing It. Gabby Green is a secret agent, mother of two, figuring it out as she goes along. Sounds a little familiar, Allie, doesn't it?
It does.
After her divorce, Gabby never expected that she'd be this close to having it all. Spying with a hot handler who's an expert in after-hours, under-the-covers work was not on her current bingo card. But balancing romance, espionage, and school lunches is a job for a magician, not a secret agent. Gabby will just have to keep dreamy Marcus at arm's length. Easier said than done. Her next mission, should she choose to accept it, pretend to be Marcus's fiancé so they can infiltrate a power couple's retreat to see whether the group is selling national security secrets, in addition to those questionable beauty products. To avert a national crisis, Gabby and Marcus will need to look like they're in love, planning their wedding and enjoying the honeymoon cottage. Faking a relationship with a perfect man without actually falling for him? Piece of calorie-free cake, right? Ooh.
I can't
Chills.
wait for this.
I can't wait. It's going to be so good. So much shenanigans and yearning. I can't wait.
It's going to be so good. And honestly, we do also have the arc in our possession at this time. So
yeah, and we're going to have
it's
Sam
good.
on the podcast soon again to talk about her release. So stay tuned for that coming in 2026.
I love it. Yay. All right, moving on to the next one. These also are going to be in order of release date. So we're going to go January all the way on down. And some of these months, let me tell you, are packed with some really, really good books. And so the next one that I wanted to talk about is Next Level Love by Shamiz Patel, which is releasing January 20th, 2026. And I did also want to shout out Alea's library on Substack. She's a great creator on Substack. She has awesome reviews and book lists. And there's a couple of authors that are new to me that I discovered because of her roundup for 2026. And so I wanted to shout her out for this book. And I'll definitely disclose which ones piqued my interest based on her her roundup. So, like I said, Next Level Love by Shamiz Patel. When your favorite player turns out to be your very real boss, the rules are a lot more complicated. Elizabeth Gordon Betancourt is rebuilding her life on her own terms, starting with a new internship, a shot at her dream job as a civil engineer, and a whole lot of distance from her family's drama. With her life full of changes, and the one constant is at the answer is no, a charming gamer who seems to just get her, even if he has no interest in meeting her in real life. Elizabeth would feel a lot more confident about her job if her new boss wasn't so hard to read. Lincoln Carden is quiet, demanding, and adamant about avoiding small talk, especially in the office. What she doesn't know is that online, he's someone else entirely, quick, confident, and a little bit flirty. And his favorite player to team up with is at Pancakes Cerulite, which is the one person who never makes him feel like he has to try so hard. As their two worlds start to collide, Elizabeth and Lincoln start to wonder, with their careers on the line and their online friendship as risk, is romance IRL worth it? So I love that premise.
Oh yeah, the like hidden identity and like being
Yes.
authentic behind a curtain of safety to like, oh, I'm just like
There's a reason like You've Got Mail is,
more.
it hits. And this is
Yes.
this is like the gamer interpretation, I feel like, of You've Got Mail. And I love that we've got an engineer, like we've got
Same.
a STEM situation. Like I'm always drawn to those STEM romances. So I'm very hyped
Agree.
for this one.
Me too.
Yay!
Okay, let's see what's next on our list. Okay, Catch Her If You Can by Tessa Bailey. So this is the Big Shot series, and this is book 5. And this is also coming out in January 20th, 2026. So here we go. Madden Donahue, the newest catcher for the Yankees, has been in love with Eve Mitchell since high school. But for some mysterious reason, the burlesque club owner always turns him down. That never stopped him from being her self-appointed protector. Case in point, now that Evie's sister has left Eve with her 2 children indefinitely, Madden steps in with a proposition: marry him for the much-needed health benefits. Eve has secured harbored feelings for Madden all along, but there's one problem. Her best friend Skylar called dibs on him when they were 14. Always put their friendship above all else, and she's not willing to risk losing Skylar over a man. Raised by the local strip club owner, it is woefully short on friends and treasures, the ones she has. But with Skylar happily paired off, Eve finds herself accepting Madden's proposal on the condition that their marriage remains strictly private. She's not about to let her unique profession and maligned reputation destroy Madden's shiny new career. Madden won't let Eve get away that easily, though. What starts as a marriage of convenience soon ignites into something much hotter. And now it's up to Madden to convince Eve that their connection is far more than a business arrangement. As the passion builds, can their fake marriage become the real deal?
Marriage of convenience just hits.
It
yet
does.
Again. Like it just hits.
And also, I know I've said this before about the economy, but like marrying for benefits in this economy, like also very realistic. Like
it's feeling more and more realistic these days,
I mean, healthcare in America and just like the economy, those are just facts. Wherever you land is fine. But like
for health insurance, I mean,
that feels out
very
here.
normal.
Yeah.
It is hard out here. So,
and you and I have both read this series up until this point. So, and Tessa Bailey is just so like fun and witty and traditional, contemporary romance rom-com. It should be a fun ride.
Yeah, and Tessa Bailey you can always count on her for like a good time. And I think she's one of those classics where I feel like if I'm in like a slump, Tessa Bailey, Lorraine Heath, those 2 usually can get me out of like a reading slump. Yeah, absolutely.
Doesn't take you long to get like into the story, invested, and just like, here we go.
Yep. All right. The next one is The Lust Crusade by Joe Segura. This one is releasing January 13th, 2026. And this, I think, is the 3rd in this series. And it is a plucky librarian and an archaeologist on the run fake an engagement to save their lives, leading them to the labyrinth of their own desires. Ooh. Daniela Gutierrez has been in love with her brother's best friend, another brother's best friend, for as long as she can remember, until he went missing a year ago during an archaeological expedition. But on a solo trip to Greece, the intrepid librarian discovers that Theo is very much alive. Although, judging by the criminals holding him hostage, he is not doing well. An expert in ancient Greek archaeology, Dr. Theo Galanis, has been abducted by artifact smugglers in search of a priceless gemstone, the Eye of the Minotaur. This ridiculous assignment was supposed to get Danny out of his system, not keep her tied up next to him. But when a little white lie spirals into his captors believing Theo and Danny are engaged, they must utilize their research skills and his expertise to solve the centuries-old Minoan mystery, all while feigning a romance to keep each other alive. Now, with less than 6 days to find the jewel, underground societies, mythological beings, and pesky abductors are only half the battle, because among the ancient ruins and temples, they are exploring an even bigger danger, falling in love for real. That sounds action-packed. I like this series by Joe Segura is very much like an adventure, action-adventure romance, which I think is, I'm very much drawn to that. There's like mystery as well.
I read the first 2 books. I thought they were really fun. I was drawn to them for like the Indiana Jones comparison. So for those of you nerds, her first book is Raiders Lost Heart. So instead of like Temple of Swoon. And then now the Lust Crusade. So just combining those action, archaeology elements, but also like being a full romance book and plot is really fun. I've enjoyed them. So this was already on my radar for 2026. So if any of those things sound good to you, you should also put it on the list.
Yes. And as I've mentioned I think it was in my manuscript minisode, Harrison Ford specifically as Dr. Henry Indiana Jones Jr. Imprinted on me very hard. So like I'm here for like an Indiana Jones comp 100% of the time.
Yeah. Never too much Indiana Jones.
No, never.
And young Harrison Ford over here.
Honestly, he's still hot, old. I'll say it.
Yeah. You're like, I'm putting it down today. Even old Harrison Ford is on our list. He's older. We'll say he had seasoned.
Abs like in his 60s when he was in What Lies Beneath. Okay, like he was looking great. He still does. Anyway,
that's that like thriller with Michelle Pfeiffer, right? That's the thriller with Michelle Pfeiffer.
Yes,
Michelle Pfeiffer. Yeah. That was a nail biter.
That was a
nail
nail
so
biter.
Good. Okay, sorry, we digress. All right, the next one we have is the Redo List by Denise Williams, and this is coming out on January 27th, 2026. I am a Denise fan. I've read her previous books, and I have one right here. This is her latest release, Just Our Luck. And so, attention everyone, we have a brother's best friend and a sexy to-do list in this one. So here we go. Willow experienced all her big firsts with her high school sweetheart. Now reeling from their very public breakup, she wants to get a redo on those important moments. While dog sitting for her brother during his deployment, she has a chance to start over, and spending time with his best friend gives her the confidence to start checking items off her redo list. Deacon promised his best friend 2 things when Cruz left for a deployment: that he'd look out for Willow, and that he'd keep his hands off Cruz's baby sister. Operation Redo is innocent enough at first. Deacon likes Willow, and he's willing to help her out any way he can. But when the list of firsts turn from a first dance to first kisses and more, Deacon can't deny the connection he feels to Willow. As Deacon and Willow's firsts turn to seconds, thirds, and fourths, this pair can't get enough of each other, and they support each other through new challenges. But they are both aware there's an end date to Willow's time in town. And even if she were to stay, Deacon doesn't know how to choose between his loyalty to his closest friend and the woman he's fallen in love with. With no more romantic moments on her list for them to redo, can these two still find a way to stay together?
I love
Mic
it.
drop.
Mic drop. Denise knows what's up. You can always count on her for a good time.
Absolutely. So I love it. Exciting.
And we're also going to be in conversation with her coming up soon. So we're like to talk about this book. Super, super excited to do that as well.
So lots to come in 2026, you guys.
Lots to come in 2026. I know. Next book, moving on into February, is And Now Back to You by B.K. Borison. I read the first book in this series, First Time Caller, and Amber, I think that you did as well. And this is the second book in the Heartstrings series from BK. And this is the one that takes place at the Baltimore radio station. And I thought that the first one was really good. So this is about Jackson and Delilah. And Jackson Clark and Delilah Stewart have had their fair share of run-ins over the years, often ending in disaster. While Jackson thrives on routine and organization from the comfort of his radio booth, Delilah loves the spontaneity and adventure out in the field. When they are partnered against their will to cover a historic snowstorm, boy, I'm getting good vibes about this already, they find themselves scrambling to figure out how to work together. Eager to be taken seriously as a journalist, Delilah offers Jackson a deal. If he can help her ace this assignment, she'll help him rediscover his long-lost fun side. With unexplored chemistry burning beneath their clashes, the unlikely partnership quickly tumbles into an easy and surprising friendship. But when other feelings start to enter the equation, can Jackson and Delilah withstand the storm? Or does what happens in the mountains stay in the mountains? I'm getting a snowed in vibe.
I loved a snowed in vibe.
Snowed in.
Like, I mean, I live in Minnesota. We get lots of snow. My family skis. Like, we're all about the cabin, cozy vibes. So
I love it.
Like, immediately that's my personal id list. So
Immediately, yes.
And you're right. I did read the first book in this series too. So I'm excited for this one as well. It should be a good one.
It should be.
The next book is The Starter X by Mia Sosa, and it's coming out on March 10th, 2026. This sounds like a fun and fresh take on the fake dating trope, kind of mixed with How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days. Allie, you loved her other books, right? What was it? The Wedding Crasher?
The Wedding Crasher, and I'm forgetting right now the second book in that series. But
okay, but yeah, you've read her before, right?
Yes, I love her books. Are really fun. They're very like bantery and just like fresh. Like they're just fun and fresh, and there's new stuff going on, and it's a good twist on like the classic favorite tropes. Usually, she does a good job with that.
Okay, sign me up. All right, here is the summary. Vanessa Cordero used to run a profitable side gig. For a reasonable fee, she'd date your crush and make his life miserable. Too clingy? Check. Jealous? Check. A parent's worst nightmare? Triple check. By the time Vanessa was done with him, your guy was practically begging for you. Enter Jason Torres, a certified commitment phobe who doesn't plan on getting married anytime soon, much to his mother's dismay. What he needs is a temporary girlfriend. A totally inappropriate girlfriend. Someone his mother will hate, so she'll finally abandon her dream of getting him to the altar. Vanessa's younger sister, Lisa, has her eye on Jason and convinces Vanessa to come out of retirement for one last Starter X engagement. The rules are simple. No touching, no fooling around, and definitely no falling in love. But nothing's going according to plan because Vanessa can't ditch Jason no matter how hard she tries to scare him away. And the longer they're around each other, the more neither of them wants to be apart. Dun, dun, dun.
I just love the twist on the like fake girlfriend trope of like, I need her to be horrible, because we so often see like, oh, I need a fake girlfriend to like, or a fake fiance or whatever to get people off of my back and think that I'm doing what they want
so
me to do.
Happy and lovely and yeah.
Yes. And this is like, no, I need her to be horrible. So they're like, oh, actually we'd rather him be single. And like, I love that twist. I think that's going to be really fun.
And I think there's going to be moments, at least for me, I always enjoy them, but I hate them, where they're going to be so awkward, I'm inwardly cringing. Like sometimes in movies where it gets so awkward and I almost have to look away and Patrick's like, you need to watch, we're not fast forwarding. I'm like, I know, but it's so awkward.
He's like,
I think there's going to be some
open. Like,
yeah.
You must see.
Must what? I think he takes pleasure in it too, watching me squirm.
A little bit.
But I feel like there's going to be some of those moments in the best way. Like you said, it's a good twist and she's going to be horrible. So seeing how she can just make these situations worse is probably
and just the
really
potential of like her putting on this act of like being horrible, and then him like falling in love with like the real her. And I'm just like really interested to like, how are we gonna fall in love like being horrible? You know what I mean? So and like, how are we gonna reconcile that? I'm excited. I think this is one of my most, like, if I had to pick like a top 5, this is definitely in the top 5 of my most anticipated for.
You heard it here, folks. Heard it here first.
She is anticipating this anxiously. Awaiting.
Anxiously awaiting.
That's right. So our next book that we are going to chat about, also in March, is No Place Like You by Jillian Meadows. And this is book 2 in the Oaks Sisters series. Fable Oaks has never planned to return to Fern River, but after a string of failures, here she is, living in her parents' backyard, watching her beloved late grandfather's A-frame crumble around her. She can't seem to find her direction, and to make matters worse, Theo Nicolau, her ex-best friend, has also resurfaced, distracting dimples and charming grin in tow. Theo knew it was only a matter of time before he came back. The demons of his past once drove him to leave, but Fern River always seemed meant to be. So when Theo's boss, Arthur, announces he is selling his veterinary practice, it feels like the perfect opportunity. He just needs to show Arthur he's sticking around for good, and when Fable with her smart mouth and sexy curls, quite literally falls into Theo's lap, an idea forms. If they can convince the town that they're madly in love, it should solve all of their problems. Theo can prove to Arthur he's settling down, and Fable can get some much needed help fixing up the A-frame, a task she is determined to see through. The only problem is, the more the time they spend together, the blurrier the line gets between fake dating and falling hard. She's lost her way. He's finding his path. Together, they might discover there's no place like home. That sounds very sweet.
Sassy girl with curls. Like, come on.
I love it.
I read the first book in this series, Give Me Butterflies, and it was really cute, endearing, but also touched on some topics, like, again, like we talked about in one of our previous episodes, that like romance and rom-coms in general can have a superpower of being really funny and witty, but also having really heartfelt, deep moments and touching topics that maybe aren't always talked about in regular life. So I'm looking forward to this one as well.
Yes, I love it.
Our next book, Mayhem and the Mortal by Shanora Williams, is coming out on March 17th, 2026. And this also was Aleia's library credit. So we found this on her list. So thank you again for another good recommendation.
Thanks, girl.
Yeah, you got us. Here's the summary. One mission, one curse, no escape. Zara doesn't want a hero. She needs a weapon. To save her sister from a soul-devouring curse, she has to cross the Shallows, a nightmare land of ruined magic, shifting paths, and vicious creatures that eat people alive. Her guide, Thane Valkor, sorcerer, assassin, walking red flag. His name clears rooms, his magic kills quietly, and whether he's really after, it's not salvation. He promises to help, he might even mean it. But Zara knows better than to trust the liar with a blade and ice in his veins. She just doesn't have a choice.
I'm excited about this one too.
Yeah, I mean, just the first 3 sentences, one mission, one curse, no escape. I was like, done.
You're like,
Sign me
okay.
up.
I love where they talk about the hero as a walking red flag, and I was like, no, real.
You know what I thought of? Have you seen that guy on TikTok, the red flag guy? Where like they show a clip and then there's like he runs. I was just when they said walking red flag, I visual. We
That's
should
like
put a clip of him
immediately what
here.
you were.
He was running with his flag.
Incredible.
Like, oh no. Thank
I
you,
love it so
red
much.
flag guy.
No, I'm super hyped about this one. And as you know, like Amber, you read a lot. You and Marie read a lot more fantasy than I do.
Yeah.
I dabble. I enjoy it. But it has to be kind of like a specific thing for me to like hit. And typically like magic in the form of like witchy stuff I tend to like, and like this is piquing my interest. This is very exciting. I'm very excited.
Because it has the tropes you like too, right?
It does.
So it's
yeah.
not just it's setting in the romantasy fantasy realm, but
Yeah.
it's like a few of those things that you're like, okay, I'm here for him.
Yeah, it
I'm
feels like we
sold.
have a shadow daddy in our midst, you know, and I do love that.
Okay,
It's
who
a
can
good-
say no
it's
to
a
a
good
shadow
one.
daddy? You know?
I know. And moving on to another fantasy pick, My Queen, Queen of the Night Sky by Amelie Howard, releasing March 17th, 2026. I love Amelie Howard. She is an auto-buy author for me. She has phenomenal historicals with South Asian representation, and her like most recent historical series is based on like classic rom-coms like 10 Things I Hate About You, Pretty Woman, etc. I think I'm actually going to be talking about one of those books for one of my book nooks coming up in the future. But I'm really excited. I know I'm really excited about this new series because I trust Amelie to take me into the land of fantasy for sure. So I'm going to probably butcher some names as I read this back copy because, you know, fantasy be fantasying. So
And please give us grace.
Please,
and
yes,
once the book comes out and we listen to the audio, we will be able to come back and be like,
yes,
we got 50% right, or whatever Allie gets, and we're just gonna give her a pat on the back.
that's right. I mean, all I can do is Hooked on Phonics, so like that's what we're going to be doing. Okay, so
Done and
thank you
done.
for your grace. Thank you for your courtesy. The Kingdom of Orendir has been saved by the will of royal stars, but King Roshan, once Sura's best friend and chosen love, has changed. She can sense corruption growing in him, and her own magic is being twisted by his command to dangerous ends. As dreams of her strange shadow guardian return in force, she is left unsure of her path and of her heart. When an attempt on her life leads to her rescue on the back of an Azdaha, the dragon-like creature she's once thought a myth, Sura truly finds herself in uncharted territory. In a land far beyond Orindir's borders, Everly is full of magic, ruled by the deadly and enigmatic Night King, Darius. Ooh. And to Sura's shock, Darius is none other than the man in her dreams, and possibly her soul-fated mate.
Because of
As a
course
prophecy,
he is.
Oh, fated mate.
Sorry, I had to just interject there.
I know. Well, that's what this is about. Like we're excited about these books. As a prophecy unfolds, the old gods awaken and a war between kingdoms looms. Sura has no choice. She must fully embrace her destiny as Starkeeper and the entirety of her power before it's too late. But all power comes at a cost, and darkness has a way of slithering into the smallest spaces.
I do have to say, typically in romantasy, it isn't a problem to make it worse. So you always know, like, if you're hooked and excited and it's a series, like, there's going to be a cliffhanger. You're going to have a book hangover in the best way.
Yes.
And when it talks about it comes at a cost, I'm immediately like, oh, I'm going to be gut wrenched by whatever cost that's going to be what it's going to be. So
it's very much a hurt so good, kind of a
so
thing.
good.
It hurts so good. Yeah. So I'm really hyped about that. Amelie, take me on this ride. I'm very excited for March.
Take me. So take me, baby. Sorry. I just had to. We could cut that out too. The next book
should we keep it? Because
take me, baby, into the night, Shadow Daddy.
Shadow Daddy, take me on a ride.
Okay, King.
Okay.
Oh, I love you.
Oh boy.
The next book, you guys, we're still in March. Can you believe all these books are coming out in March? We did not plan to just have them all be in the first quarter of the year, but we won't run out of books for 2026. So this next one is The Night We Met by Abby Jimenez. In everyone's life, there's a split-second decision that can change everything. For Larissa, it came when choosing who to ride home with after a concert. That night, she had no idea she'd met the perfect man. She and Chris are great friends, co-parenting a slightly unhinged rescue Yorkie, sharing their favorite books, and judging bread, pumpernickel, for the win. For the first time amid all her side hustles to scrape by, things finally feel easy. But she didn't choose Chris to drive her home all those months ago. She went with his best friend, and he became her boyfriend. All Chris wants is for Larissa to be happy. Standing by on the sidelines is slowly killing him, but making a move would destroy someone else. How can something that feels so right be absolutely impossible? Oh, so he falls first.
Oh,
Sounds
boy.
like there's so much yearning from the side. There's going to
boy.
be torture. And I've read, I want to say almost all of Abby Jimenez's books.
Yeah.
Yeah, she just has a way to make you feel all the feels. And as a fun little shout out, she's a fellow Minnesota author. So she's usually round and about in the Twin Cities. And she also has a chain of bakeries. And she was on the Food Network. She's just so badass.
She's
But
so cool.
She has one of her bakeries in my home city in the Twin Cities area. So I get to devour and go and get these cupcakes. They're so good. And they have gluten-free ones that are really, really good. And my mother-in-law is mostly gluten-free. And she's they're some of the best gluten-free cupcakes, dessert she's ever had. So whenever I'm there, I always try to pick her up one too. So not
I'm
related
jealous.
to this book, but kind of adjacently, Abby Jimenez and her cupcakes.
Nadia Cakes, right?
Nadia Cakes, correct. Yeah.
Yeah.
So this was
She's very
already
cool.
on my radar. Yeah.
I really like her parasocially. So
yeah, right. I feel like we know her. And her, oh my gosh, Nadia's, I think, her older daughter that it's named after. Maya. Maya, I think, is her youngest daughter. Have you seen the posts on social where she's like, I'm a Nepo baby? Being it's annoying, but she's with all of these amazing people like Allie Hazelwood and everybody in the industry.
So
I'm
good.
So good. So
I love that so much.
Yeah. So
All right.
Abby Jimenez has another one coming. Stay tuned.
Thank God, because she's one of those ones who will do it to you as well.
Mhm.
And she does. I think she's another one that I think classically does a very good job dealing with heavy topics.
Yeah.
in romance. And
I agree.
I always feel like I come out like learning something, but also having a really good time. And I really enjoy her book. So I'm hyped about that one. I also love the anecdote that she like writes a lot of her books in her notes app on her phone. You know,
Oh,
you
I
can do it
know, which is
you can do it anywhere.
I know. I need to remember that I think from my own just why I default to this, like I need to be like in a chair by my computer and like have designated time, which like all of that is really wonderful. And I could get bigger chunks of writing, but like my life just doesn't accommodate that very well right now. And I need to like channel Abby and be like, you can just pull out your phone app secretly on the side of the couch while Lachlan is eating his snack for 10 minutes and write something, like we're in the age of technology. Like it doesn't
Yeah,
need to
we
be a
can do
big
it.
thing. And I
Amber.
think that'll help with my word count. I need to like, Abby, I need to channel your phone writing. I love this.
Also, I have a challenge for you, Amber, right here,
Okay,
right now,
challenge me.
in the middle of this episode.
I'm sweating already with excitement and
Okay,
nerves.
when you go pick up Lachlan in the pickup
Yes.
line, you need to write. You need to open up that notes app, and like I want you to use that time while you're waiting for him to get into the car.
Okay.
Okay.
We will have to, or maybe I just get there early and then do it 5 minutes. He's still little enough. I have to like go into the school
Oh,
and
you have
like
to go
pick
in.
him
Never
up.
mind then.
Yeah, but I like this. I think we can still make it work for me. Like,
Maybe you get there like 5-10 minutes early on the pickup home.
yeah.
Like so,
And
and
then
then
I'm
you
in
like
the car. I
in
have
the
nothing
car,
distracting me.
and then you go in and get him.
I love this.
Okay.
Please hold me accountable to this because I
Okay.
think that'll help me keep in my story. And then just like, you even if it's 30 words, that 30 words feel good. Next time it's 50. Like,
That's right.
you know,
That's right.
um, I was trying to find here quick, everyone, if the narrators for this book have been announced. And I don't see it yet, or maybe it's not on here, but I have listened to a lot of Abby's books via audiobook, and the narrators are usually really quite amazing. So, but I don't know who they are yet. So maybe they haven't announced it. So that'll be fun to see too as it gets closer to release date.
Yes, I love it. All right, our next one is, we're into April now, Rites of the Starling by Dabney Perry, which is the Shield of Sparrows book 2. And I know, Amber, you were a fan of Shield of Sparrows book 1.
Yes, I actually think I'm going to share it in a book nook soon, or if it
Ooh,
hasn't been out yet. So like, woohoo, stay tuned
exciting.
for that.
All right, Kalandra's 5 kingdoms are on the verge of destruction. The Crux migration is coming. And in the wake of devastating attack, I've been separated from the man who owns my heart. I'm lost, terrified, homesick, hunted by monsters, driven to exhaustion, and kidnapped by a powerful priest. The only thing keeping me going is the little girl counting on me to keep her safe. It's my turn to become the guardian. Our lives change one fateful night, a night of death, a night of monsters, a night of truths. That night when I learned the real meaning of fear and the depths of my own strength. Everyone wants me to be something I'm not, a queen, a spy, a sacrifice. But what if I embrace my crown? What if the secrets I uncover save our realm? What if my sacrifice means salvation for the man I love? For too long, I've feared the monsters we make. It's time to discover the monster within. Ooh, sounds like a good arc.
Yeah, the first book was really good. I would say it's definitely more of a slow burn, but in the best way. And the world building was really great. It's very unique. There's monsters, there's magic, there's different lands. And again, I think it can be a challenge with fantasy and romantasy that like there's so many details, how to get someone into the scenery and be detailed to be exciting, but also not to overwhelm. And I felt like that she did a very good job with the first book. So I'm very excited for the second one. And I think I listened to it audio, and the narrators again were really great. So I'll probably do the audiobook for when this one comes out.
I love
That's
it.
exciting. Yeah. Our next one, we're into April, guys. We made it to April.
We're doing it.
Happy Ending by Chloe Lees. You guys know I love Chloe. She's an auto
we
buy
love
for
Chloe.
me.
Auto buy.
Oh, so good. And again, diverse representation with disability, representation in chronic illness, typically neurodivergent. She does such a good job in research and just sensitivity readers. Like it's just really great to kind of live outside yourself, to have empathy with some of these things.
I agree.
All right, on to the summary. Thea and Alex have 3 things in common. They love food, they hate where they live, and they're both divorced. Otherwise, they couldn't be more different. Thea's never cooked a day in her life. Alex is a world-class chef. Alex resents feeling stuck in his hometown. Thea resents the town for not feeling more like home. Thea and her ex are in a contentious custody battle for their dog. Alex and his ex amicably co-parent their daughter. Beyond a few friends in common, a couple small world connections, Welcome to life in a mid-sized city. Their lives look nothing alike. Fast forward 2 years, and they're truly the best of friends. No one would ever know their friendship began as a lie. 2 years ago, their exes got together immediately following their divorce, and somehow, Thea and Alex found themselves spinning a spite fueled story about being old friends and first loves. 2 years later, what began as a ruse has grown into a real friendship. Just friendship, despite what friends and family seem to think. But when their exes invite them on a 2-week, two-family beach vacation,
Oh
daughter and
boy.
dog included, I know, Alex and Thea start to wonder if this story they've spun might have gotten away from them, and if it's led them to the last place they ever thought it could be, a happy ending. Oh, I'm so
Oh,
excited for
I'm
this.
excited.
I love the they're jilted lovers and they're kind of in like a spite support group. Like in the beginning, like no one knows what we're
Yeah.
going through except each
Yeah.
other, and lean in, and like also you're just yourself because like you're both just in pain. I'm very excited to see how it starts from that place of faking it to be a support to how they grow. I'm real excited for this one.
And it kind of reminds me, not completely because it's very different, but like
Emily Henry.
Emery Henry funny story
Yeah, I
where,
agree.
the exes get together
Yep.
and to make, and I think that that's also a really fun kind of an underutilized trope, I
I would
think.
agree.
I feel like
Besides
we're
these two,
really,
I haven't
yeah,
really none come to top of my mind, top of head, top of
no.
my mind.
Yeah, but I think that is a really good underutilized one. And I think it's a good way to kind of twist fake dating, because I know this might be a hot take, but I sometimes get a little bit bored with fake dating. I'm like, okay, okay. Like I get it. But I think this is kind of a fun twist on that. So I'm
Like
I'm
fake
excited about
friendship,
this one.
like fake
Yeah,
besties, and then they
fake
are besties.
besties.
So
Yeah.
then it's almost like a friends to lovers situation, truly,
Ooh,
underneath it all,
yeah.
right?
Yeah. And it's like we're on a trope, metamorphosis. Like we start at one trope and then we like evolve into other tropes. And that's always a fun ride. Yeah. All right, the next one. Okay, May is also a heavy hitter month for some of these releases, I gotta say, you guys. May and March, it feels like. I am so hyped about this. Our Perfect Storm by Carly Fortune,
Ah,
May 5th, 2026. Her cover art is always so good with the artist that she utilizes. And like this one, oh boy, this one is giving moody, angsty. I'm like really excited about this.
hmm
And I love all of Carly's books. And I remember reading Every Summer
same.
After a couple of years ago. And like I had such a book hangover about it. And I've not been disappointed since. So, Our Perfect Storm is about Frankie and George, and they've been best friends since they were 8 years old. Both passionate, impulsive, and headstrong, they've always clashed and come back together until now. It's the eve of Frankie's wedding weekend, and she doesn't know where they stand or even if George will show up to be her best man. Then, at the start of the festivities, in walks George. For one glorious evening, surrounded by her loved ones, Frankie's life is finally perfect. But it all comes crashing down when her fiance dumps her the next morning, leaving only a note as an explanation. Crushed and confused, Frankie returns to her family's home to wallow, but George has a different idea and a plan for healing Frankie's broken heart. He wants her to go on her honeymoon with him for 1 week to the lush rainforests and misty beaches of Tofino. Frankie agrees, seeing the trip as what it really is, one last chance to repair their friendship, even if it means unearthing secrets and long buried feelings neither knows how to handle, even if it means falling apart for good. I'm excited about this.
Yeah.
I'm
Carly
like,
always takes us on a ride, so
yeah, Carly always takes us on a ride, and I'm very excited. I think I think there's going to be a lot of pining. I think there's going to be a lot of yearning, and she does such a good job with that. And I also love the trope of like, let's go on the honeymoon or like the paid sex vacation together with like not the person we were intended to go
yeah,
on it
that's
with.
definitely like a really cool micro trope.
That's a fun trope.
Next on our list is Love Beyond Reasonable Doubt by Swati Hedge, and this comes out May 12th, 2026. All right, here is the summary. Nina Shetty is a proud workaholic, and she's gunning for a promotion at her law firm. No distractions will get in her way this time, not even the bad breakup that happened over a year ago. She brushed off her pain with a long vacation and a no strings attached fling with a handsome stranger, but now Nina is back to business. Unlucky in love, Tejas Rajput has has not stopped thinking about the brown-eyed beauty he met on the beaches of Goa 2 summers ago. He'd been looking for a rebound to get over his ex, which is why he agreed to keep things strictly casual, use fake last names, and respond to all personal questions with wrong answers only. But
Love
he
it.
didn't think he'd fall for her, I know, right? Hard. Only for her to get on a plane and leave. When they crossed paths again, this time working at the same law firm, Nina is adamant that her no relationship policy won't change, especially not for Tejas, whose disarming smile and easygoing charm could spell trouble. Her career will always come first. But as they team up for a case that could make or break their firm's reputation, they discover that there's something more than just sparks between them, and it might turn out to be true love.
Oh, excited about this one. And this author is new to me. And so thank you, Alea's Library, again for pulling this, because this is hitting some of my id, and I'm pretty excited about it. Okay. Anything else you want to say, lawyer, about it? How do you feel? How do you feel about reading legal romances?
Yeah, I'm in the middle. I have enjoyed a lot. There's some I haven't. I think more for me, it's fun to read books to live outside of your lived experiences. And so some of it I've had. And so some of it hits true, some of it doesn't. Or sometimes I'm like, I've lived that. I don't want to be in like that stressful work environment, even though I obviously still practice, but it's very different as being in-house corporate attorney, not in a firm setting. So I think it's just kind of like with everything I read, it's more mood-based,
That makes sense.
And also what the micro tropes are, and I'll be like, yeah, kind of like what you talked about earlier. You're like, I am going to definitely read that because it hits some of those id list items for me.
Yeah.
How about you with medical stuff?
Yeah. So I tend to shy away from it because I find that a lot of people get it wrong, which is maybe a call to action for me personally to write about it. But
I mean, hey,
yeah,
2026 goals.
Yeah, so when it's done well, I feel so excited and I feel like very seen, I guess. And that's like, I think that's the amazing thing too about reading is like you can experience, empathy and other lived experiences, but you can also feel very validated in your own experience. Like it can do both, right? And so I think when it's done right, it's usually like a 5-star read for me. When it's done wrong or the information isn't correct, and one of the like micro things that really bother me is like people get the training and the timelines wrong. Like you can't have like a 26-year-old neurosurgeon who's an attending. Like I'm sorry, you just can't.
Yeah, like some things are just blatantly like, did you even research at all? Not even being in the weeds with a certain hard diagnosis disease. Just like the length of time it takes to become this professional.
Length of time and like what is the training like and like how is it structured? And I know that it's weird and it can be kind of confusing and there's a lot going on, but I do that like incorrect like timeline or like incorrect training will like immediately like take me out of like my suspension of belief. And so that it's hit or miss. I tend to get wary of them because I'm like, oh, I don't want to like hate this. So I tend to shy away from it just because I don't want to be disappointed, not necessarily because I don't want to read about it. Because when I do read about it and it's good, I'm like, yes, I need more of this. So
and I feel seen. Yeah.
Yeah, and I feel seen. Yeah, absolutely. So this next one, also from Alea's Library recommendation, and also hitting so many of my id list. And like I said, I'm not a huge fantasy reader. I dabble, but this is hitting for me. And it's Strange Familiars by Kesha Chow. And this is coming out May 19th, 2026. And 2 scholars of magical veterinary science must put aside their lust and loathing to save the world in the first installment of this whimsical, romantic, dark academia duology. All Gwendolyn Chan needs is to get through her final year. As the top student in the magical familiars stream, she's on track to be awarded Dux of the entire school, as long as the pretentious Pratt, Harrisford Briggs, doesn't beat her to it. Harrisford Briggs' father, Chief Financial Officer of MageCorp, a major global distributor of magic, expects him to become the top of his class. Harrisford, though, can't help but notice that his father has been acting odd, and there are strange whisperings, too, of uncontrollable surges of excess magic. When these magical surges begin to rock London, causing chaos and explosions, and familiars going feral, Gwen and Harrisford find themselves reluctantly involved, putting both of their veterinary careers at risk. Along with Gwen's snarky cat familiar, Gwen and Harrisford must team up to diagnose the problem. But as the two academic rivals fight their burgeoning feelings, they quickly realize that magic is not the only thing surging.
Oh my gosh, the first sentence I knew had you. Two scholars of magical veterinary science, so STEM.
That's all I needed.
And then put aside their lust and loathing. I mean, you love it when it hurts and they yearn.
Oh boy. Like an academic rivals to lovers.
Academic duology. Like,
Yes.
you barely made it past the first sentence and
I
you were
barely
probably
could.
like clutching your pearls, you know?
I know. And I would say this is probably in my also top 5 of like most anticipated. And this is a new author to me. So I'm really excited
I'm
about
really
this one.
excited listening to you read it. I was like, ooh.
I was like, immediately yes. I like you said, I read the first 2 words and I was like, immediately yes. So
hello, welcome to my Achilles heel. 2 academic scholars, I'm in. It doesn't matter anything else. Yearning and academic scholars, sign her up.
Sign me up, baby.
Sign you up. Okay, the next one is The Ballad of Falling Dragons by Sarah A. Parker. This comes out May 19th, and this is book 2 of the Moonfall series. So I think this is going to be a big one. The first book was pretty big on Book Talk and online. So I'll just get into the summary. Moonbeam, a moonfall is coming. Rave's thirst for vengeance continues to burn, as does her love for Khan Vager, a staunch beacon from a past she's yet to face. With Rex blood still fresh on her hands, she learns the world will face its most devastating moonfall yet, forcing her to pick her path. Chase death or life. Desperate to save his kingdom from ruin, Khan's crown has never felt so heavy. His many larks to scattered friends and family remain unanswered, and time is running out. As allies merge and enemies surge, with bloodlusting agendas of their own, secrets brew hot enough to burn, but none so mighty as the truth nesting within the icy depths of Rave's long-forgotten past. Something other, something with the knowledge to change it all. Please forgive me if I pronounced the names wrong. I actually read this one. I didn't listen to an audio, and I was like, oh, shoot, I probably should have online looked phonetically, but here we are doing our best and showing up.
Hooked on phonics, baby.
Hooked on phonics. Also, it's kind of fun to see, especially in fantasy. I've seen some of those posts online where it's like how you read the names in your head, and then you find out what the author's pronunciation, and you've got like none of them right.
And you're like, oh, wow, I got none of this right. Yeah.
I got one right, and it was only half right because it's still kind of wrong. So
it's still kind of wrong.
It's still kind of wrong. The first book she was thicker. She's a thicker girl, and it's definitely romantasy, but it's definitely worth it. There's a lot of twists. And it was just really, really fun. And a different take on dragons, I think, than what we typically see. There's still dragons in there. I don't want to give away any spoilers. But if you're a romantasy person, I think you would enjoy this series. And it's kind of fun to see what the hype is about, if it's going to be a popular release or not. So that one's coming out May 19th.
Oh, I love it. Next one, like I said, May is a heavy hitter month. We have Score by Kennedy Ryan. 5/19/26. And Kennedy Ryan is another one where she's like an autobiography author for me. I remember I was listening to, I think, Fated Mates, and I think Sarah and Jen were talking about her Kingmaker, or like All of the King's Men, which Kingmaker is the first book. And I devoured those 3 books, and I was like, oh boy. And that got me on my journey. And so
we
good.
are.
So, and here we are, and better for it. So this book, I think this is book 2 in the Hollywood series, I believe. So Score is you never forget your first love. Isn't that what they say? Verity Hill knows this truth intimately. She didn't simply miss Wright, Monk, Bellamy when they parted ways in college. She's haunted by his touch. Every kiss, any lover since, it's a shadow of what they had. Time heals all wounds. Isn't that what they say? Monk doesn't believe that for a second. He wasn't simply betrayed when he and Verity split. He was devastated with parts of him left behind in the ruins of all that was destroyed. More than a decade.
Devastated man.
We love a devastated man. We love when they are brought low.
I don't know what it says about us.
I don't know what that said about us.
You were like a devastated man. I'm like, tell me more.
You're like, oh my God, I love it when he hurts.
Yeah, and he probably did something stupid, and she was like, I'm going to go. Anyway, I interrupted, but I'm so excited.
Just yes. More than a decade after their disastrous breakup, Verity and Monk must work together on the set of an epic Harlem Renaissance biopic, with Monk, now a world-class musician, creating the score, and Verity, an award-winning screenwriter, penning the script. There's Oscar buzz before shooting even begins. This once-in-a-lifetime project could catapult them both to new heights, but can they put the past behind them for the sake of the film or for the sake of something more?
What high stakes and all eyes on
High
them.
stakes.
And
I know, and I love
really-
this cover too. It's so sexy, and I was like,
She's
I was
draped
thinking
across a piano.
she's draped
for
across
those
the
of you
piano,
on
just
backward.
fingers like tinkling the keys. I was like, oh, I really hope that there's like sex on the piano at some point. And you know what? We'll see, but I'm hopeful.
And kind of an underutilized trope lately, or at least what I've been reading, is the one that got away. Like, it doesn't say it here, but the fact that like time is supposed to heal all wounds, but then like time doesn't, and you keep comparing to the other person, you're trying to forget. It's like that one that got away. So I'm excited.
I am too.
All right, our next one, you guys, we made it to June. This is Father Material by Alexis Hall, and this is the third book in the London Calling series, and it comes out June 2nd of 26. Okay. Luke and Oliver have been through it all. Fake dating to save Luke's career. I guess this is actually for real dating when all that blew up spectacularly. Briefly, breaking up over irreconcilable differences. Definitely getting back together over perfectly reconcilable everything else. Almost getting married. Finally moving in together. And ultimately celebrating years of perfect domestic bliss. But as all of their very grown-up, now friends, begin reaching new life milestones, advancing careers, and having babies, Luke and Oliver decide if it's time to open their hearts and lives to something new. A tiny, squirming, adorable bundle of furry joy named Spud. And maybe, I know, and maybe now that hearts and lives are already open, there's room for someone else, someone more, something that may require them to find in themselves a little father material. I just can't wait.
Adorable.
I'm excited. Like you previously said, I have not read Alexis yet, and I am just so excited for this. Everything about it is just tickling my fancy. So
I really like their books. Their books are very voicey, and they have such a unique voice. I love it. And I've read the first two in the series. This is like, I think number 3 in London Calling. And Luke and Oliver are just like really cute. And it's just very good. It's fun. There's a lot of hijinks, antics. I would say if you like Ali Hazelwood's like heroine's inner monologue, that quirky, voicey, fast pace inner monologue, I think you would really like Alexis Hall in this series in particular.
Absolutely. And I know I haven't read the first 2 books, but I love it when in an earlier series you really love side characters and they're cute, and then all of a sudden like they're getting their own book and you're like, finally the story I wanted in more detail. So that's always really fun too.
Yeah, no, I love that. Next, we have Romantic Hero by Christy Greenwood. This is coming out on June 6, 2026. And this is also a new to me author. And this I saw this on the shereadsromancebooks.com list. So Gertie Bickerstaff writes happily ever afters for a living, or she did until her own life fell apart. Now her ex is thriving, her deadline is looming, and she can't even write a single word. The last thing Gertie needs is more drama, like waking up to find a confused and rugged cowboy on her sofa, and not just any cowboy, but River Oakley, the villain from her unfinished novel, somehow very real and very shirtless. River wants to go home. Gertie wants her life back, so they strike up a deal. He'll use his cunning ways to help her win back her ex. She'll finish the novel, and surely he'll return to whatever world he wrote in from. But as River Oakley proves to be so much more than just the bad guy, Gertie has to choose the ending she thought she wanted or the plot twist she never saw coming. That just looks really fun.
Yeah.
I love, I think this is a fun, like, twist on the cowboy romance, right?
It gives me also Kate and Leopold vibes. Do you remember that movie where
Oh my God, yes.
Not Hugh Grant.
It's Meg Ryan, though.
Meg Ryan and Hugh Jackman. There we go.
Hugh Jackman,
the wrong
yeah.
Hugh. Hugh Jackman like time travels and all of a sudden he's like there. I know it's not time travel, but like this, it's like the hero in her book is suddenly like materialized and like what's happening.
No, it's true. And it's also it's also giving a little bit, it's different, but sort of that kind of magical vibes of Ashley Poston, a novel love story where she goes into like the book world.
Yep.
But then now like the book world is coming out for her. in this one. So I think this one looks really good, and I'm super excited about this. I love that it's the villain of her story. I love that he's a cowboy. Just looking at the cover, it looks like we're going to be seeing some big city stuff that maybe we didn't see in her novel. So, and just, that fish out of water with a cowboy. So I'm excited for that.
Same. Oh my goodness. So many good ones. Each time we read, I'm like, I'm so excited.
I'm getting
like,
so hyped.
You can't say this is the one you're most excited for and then continue to say that for the next 4 books. But I just
or
this is why we have this podcast.
This is why we have this podcast.
We kind of really feel this way. So
we do. Yeah.
We can't choose between our babies.
We can't. And you know what? There's a subgenre for that. Why choose? And you know what? We're not going to.
We're not gonna. We can have it all, baby.
No, we can.
We can. Speaking of having it all, the next one is Extracurricular by Rachel Lynn Solomon, and this is July 14th, 2026. I really like the cover art too in this one. I don't know who did it.
It's a really good cover. I like it too.
It's really pretty. We'll post all the things. Ramona Wilder has spent her whole life in the spotlight. After a kids' TV show, she transitioned into music, singing in arenas around the world, and becoming an icon for millions of teenage girls. Now, at age 26, exhausted by the inhumane lack of privacy, she's done with all of it. She wants a change at normal, whatever that might mean for her, and she's starting with college. Professor Nick Navarro is recently divorced, but determinedly optimistic, allowing himself a very reasonable 10 minutes per day to wallow. How relatable is that? Maybe I need to do that. Just 10 days to wallow.
Just 10 minutes a day. It's like meditate. It's like opposite of meditation. I'm just wallowing.
Maybe like emotional catharsis meditation. Like, that's you get it out. Maybe that's a thing.
You're right.
If not, it should be.
It should be.
We digress. Okay, back into it. When his department calls a meeting about a celebrity enrollment, he plans to treat whoever it is like any other student. Except when Ramona blazes into class and causes an uproar, the typically easygoing professor is rattled, maybe for the first time in his career. Okay, so while I'm getting so excited, I have read Rachel's other work and really loved it. The professor vibes, academic vibes, sign me up. I like that she's older, so at least for me, I don't always love when it's like college professor student when they're like 18 and they're older. Like, that's just me. They're of legal age, but for me, I just want a little more maturity. I just don't always love that in position of power. So like there's that dynamic. So I like that she's older. And just for those of you who can't see on the cover, he has slutty little glasses on.
He has slutty little glasses.
Slutty little glasses. So
we love it.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. I love Rachel Lynn Solomon. I've read a lot of her stuff. She's another sure thing for me,
Yeah. You won't be disappointed. And you
won't be disappointed. Yeah, I agree.
Speaking of not being disappointed, talk about our next book.
Our next book, Miss Ellie fucking Palmer, Married with Benefits, is coming out July 21st, 2026.
Is it July yet?
I know, right? And this is Lainey Davis can't wait for the day she'll be able to escape her tiny Wisconsin town. She's not even close to covering her health insurance premiums and pricey migraine medication, let alone saving up enough to start over someplace new. That is until Lainey receives some news that might upend her unlucky streak. Through the archaic legal doctrine of adverse possession, Lainey has inadvertently squatted her way into owning one of the most notorious houses in modern architectural history. But Lainey owns only the house. The surrounding property, a lakeside money pit the previous owner used as a front to deal illegal reptiles, has been willed to newcomer Elliot Hodges, a DC architect who wants to rent the place to fellow architecture lovers. Neither can rent or sell without reaching an agreement. Desperate to rent out the only valuable house on the property, Elliot proposes an unconventional arrangement. Marry him for health insurance, and in exchange, she'll allow him to rent the house as part of his resort until he saved enough to buy her out. It's a win-win situation. Duh. Lainey will finally have a way out of her small town and he'll own the house designed by his architectural idol. But when the end date looms and their connection grows, Lainey is no longer sure what's more terrifying, leaving Elliot behind or letting him in. I'm super hyped for Ellie's marriage of convenience and like her take on this. And this is going to be funny. This is going to be fun. This is going to be funny.
Yeah, it's no secret we love Ellie. Like,
We
her
do.
books are standalone, but she's just a lovely human. We've met her a couple times. This is so great proximity. I
Yeah.
can't wait to see the ridiculousness of she squatted her way in the house and then the illegal alligator business.
I
Ellie,
can't.
I just can't.
I
And then
can't.
Ellie,
I
hers-
can't. I
Ellie,
can't.
hers- Ellie herself is also an attorney, so I'm sure it's going to be super fun and believable in the way of like, could this really happen? Yeah, I'm sure the right circumstances and facts, this could really happen.
Yeah. I
Um,
love it.
and two, the migraine representation really intrigues me. I suffer from ocular migraines. And again, having touching real issues within rom-coms and romances, I love that framework. Clearly, it's my id list. And then in her first book, she talked about the BRCA gene too.
Yep.
So Ellie is crushing it. We're so excited. And it's not a secret that like we're really big fans of Miss Ellie Palmer on
We are
this
big fans of Miss Ellie
podcast.
Palmer. Yes, we are.
And we aren't ashamed to say it.
No, we're not.
Okay. Next one, Lost and Found by Tara DeWitt. And this one comes out August 4th, 2026.
Woo-hoo.
Bee always wanted to be a mom, but she never expected she'd have to lose her best friend to do it. Armed with nothing but her best friend's eggs and a bucket list to complete, Bee's world is a sea of changes. When Silas steps in to give her a place to live when she needs it, Bee is half relieved she has a longtime friend in her corner. A firefighter living in a wake of an accident, Silas has his own challenges to work through that have left him cautious and vulnerable in equal measure. At first, they expect nothing, but as these two former sunshines knit together in a love that has been unfulfilled till now, a new beginning comes out of the ashes of the past. One that will lead to a love that can withstand all the slings and arrows, joys and triumphs that life can throw.
Oh, this is going to be so good.
It's going to be so good. I love it's like a sunshine, but traumas have probably taken the wind from their sails. And maybe a little too being vulnerable, trauma bonding together.
Yeah,
They're going to
yeah.
like help uplift each other, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
I'm just really looking forward to it seems like there's going to be a lot of tender moments.
I think so
in this
too.
one.
And I love the idea of having like two sunshines that have lost their shine, Like
Yeah.
I think that that's going to be really interesting. I feel like we don't see that a lot, and I like that kind of again like twist a little bit on that trope. All right, our next one is Mutual Discord by Liana De La Rosa, which is coming out August 18th, 2026. And we are big fans over here. We love her Luna Sisters series, which is her most recent historical series.
They're so
so this is her
beautiful.
contemporary debut, which is pretty exciting. So, but we would definitely like her to write more historical romances. So publishers, please take note. Thank you. So
With love, respectfully,
with
Smut and
love,
sensibility.
respectfully, more historicals. Thank you. Goodbye. All right. So a girl's girl influencer gets a serious reality check when she discovers she's fallen friend's boyfriend in this forbidden friends to lovers romance. Sophia Mendoza has had enough. She's done watching male coworkers steal credit for her talent, and now she's going to do something about it. No one knows she's the brains behind a popular video series highlighting and celebrating women in history who've been erased from their own inventions and discoveries. Her family and friends still think that she has a successful corporate job, and if they discover she is supporting herself by creating social media content, they'd be stunned. Keeping her online persona a secret is lonely, but when she sparks a virtual friendship with an anonymous follower, A, first in her comment section with his insightful perspective, then in their private video chats, where he proves to be witty and catfish level good looking, the chemistry between them ignites. But when her old friend Caitlin arrives for a visit, Sophia's lies threaten to unravel. A is Alex Castillo, her best friend's boyfriend. Alex doesn't reveal he knows her, and Sophia realizes he may be keeping secrets too. With their friendship now in real life, can they keep their attraction in check? Ooh!
There's a lot
There's a lot
on.
going on there, and it sounds messy AF, and I'm freaking here for it.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Ooh.
I'm really excited about that. And I do like its secret identity. It is also like modern take with social media. And I'm sure that there's going to be, I feel like there's going to be some really cool stuff. And I love the part about, unearthing like women's histories that have been erased or their credit has been taken from them with discoveries and technology. And so we always love to see that.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm really hyped for that one.
Stay tuned.
Stay tuned.
All right. Next on our list is Warrior of the Shards. And we just got a release date, September 15th, 2026.
Whoop, whoop.
And this is by none other than Sarah Hawley, who we've had on the podcast and had a great time. We're
We
big
did.
fans of
She was
Sarah.
we are big fans.
We got to like hold on to our hangover until September. We can do it. But here's the summary for book 3, Warrior of the Shards. Princess Kenna of Bloodhouse has decided who to support as the next ruler of Mistay. But one wrong move shatters the fragile truce of the Accord and plunges the kingdom into civil war. In the chaos, hundreds of fairies lie dead, and Kenna and the 2 rebel princes are captured. With all other potential rulers imprisoned, 2 fairies, crueler and more ambitious than even the late tyrant king, claim the throne. Kenna is sure if they don't kill her first, her guilt will. Her misstep could have lost the war. But Kenna will never give up, no matter what horrors the enemy inflicts on her, not when her house is looking to her for a brighter future, not when she has finally found someone who loves her just as fiercely as she loves him. Yet, with every blow she is dealt, the limits of how far she's willing to go to win the war get pushed further and further. In striving to transform Mistay for the better, Kenna risks losing her greatest strength, her humanity. This is going to be such a
Ooh.
fucking wild ride. And
This is going to be a wild ride because
I
we
can't
have
wait,
a
but I
lot.
also want to like watch between my fingers, like, her being tortured and captured by those
boy.
awful 2.
Fucking.
I just,
Oh, God.
I'm gonna need like some emotional prep work to be like, you're gonna be ready for this. I need to like sit down, have the emotional support beverages and snacks ready.
Agreed.
Like, it's gonna be intense, but in the best way possible. So
Agreed. Yeah. I'm really excited for this. I feel like with how we ended Princess of Blood, I think that we are unfortunately not at rock bottom, and I feel like Sarah's going to drag our asses down there first before she lifts us back up. So we are on for a journey, I think, but I'm looking forward to it. Okay, and the last one that we have, our 26th book, is Fae and Alchemy by Callie Hart, and that will be coming out November 10th, 2026. We don't have much of a blurb for this yet. I'm sure that will be to be released, but the rules have all been broken. Everything has changed. Can Ceres and Fisher save their kingdom, or is it already too late? There you go. That's it. So you know it's going to be for a good. It's going to be a good time.
We just had to put this on here. I just finished Brimstone. Quicksilver was the first one. This is another one that was really popular on Book Talk and online. And it's a really good romantasy. I'm surprised that the next one's coming out already, since Brimstone just came out. Was it this November or December? It came out recently. So this is pretty quick turnaround for a big romantasy trilogy. So that's probably why we don't have the big blurb yet.
Yeah.
But we just wanted to put on your radar that, like, for those of you who are Quicksilver fans, like 2026, you're getting book 3 already.
We are getting book 3.
And book 2 ended kind of on a little cliffhanger, like, what? So we won't have to be on the edge of our seats for too long in between.
It's gonna be a good time.
Yeah.
So looking forward to that. So those are our 26 most anticipated books for 2026. This is obviously not an exhaustive list, and there are also some authors that I know would have made this list, but I don't think that they have announced their 2026 projects yet. And so this is an as of this recording, which we are in December of 2025. So I think that this list is going to grow, and we can always update that. But I think as of right now, this is like the information that we have, and we're really excited about it. And I will also include links to Aleia's library in the show notes below, and you should definitely check her out. Like I said, she's got great book recs and reviews on Substack. And yeah, let's hit it with our happy endings, Amber.
Yeah, before we hop into happy endings, I think probably more accurately, we should have called this maybe like the first half of 2026.
Oh, yeah,
I think that's
you're right.
why there's like so many in March and May, is just because some authors and publishers haven't announced yet for the end of the year next year. But regardless, we wanted to do this, and as of this recording, so it's really fun.
And, it's a good thing to kind of get started. And there's a lot of books, like we said, coming out like January through March that are really like you should absolutely pre-order. That looks super good. So we wanted to shout those out and, start our 2026 TBRs off strong, because the more the merrier,
Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay, you guys, on to our happy endings, because everyone deserves a happy ending, not just the characters, us included.
Yes.
Do you want me to get started off?
Yeah, you go, girl.
I am happy this week. Just having prepped for this episode, remembering how much we love books, I'm very thankful we started this podcast. It gives me so much joy. It doesn't feel like work when we're recording. And I just am reflecting on we really didn't start this that long ago, like October.
No.
And how far we've grown. Even though we're still a little smaller, we're growing pretty decently. And
we are,
I'm just really excited to see where things go in 2026. And I'm feeling really hopeful, excited, and energized, not only just about the new books coming out and debut authors, but just about us.
I know
where Smut and Sensibility is going to be at the end review in 2026.
I know.
So
it's going to be
my happy ending.
That's a great happy ending. And I think this for me, mine's I think mine's similar. I think I was just thinking about in prepping this episode, thinking about all of the books that I wanted to read this next year, and just knowing that this list is going to grow. And it makes you feel really excited because you're thinking about the stuff that you love and you're making this list and you're like, okay, I'm going to have a good time. These things are going to bring me joy. I know that I'm going to like these things, and there's going to be more to come. So that abundance, I think, of entertainment that feels really good is also very exciting. And I agree. I'm just feeling really grateful that we decided to do this and put ourselves out there.
Do this crazy thing.
Do this crazy thing. We're just a couple of wild and crazy gals. And
out here in the wild.
And it's been a lot of fun so far. And I do feel very, very grateful that people are listening to some random ladies on the internet. And we're just very grateful for you. And I hope that we continue to meet you guys and, talk to you in the comments. Cause I feel like we're finding our book besties. And that is so fun. And book people are the best people.
Yeah. We're biased. We'll say it. It's fine.
We will say it.
The best people.
But we're also not wrong. Yeah. So thank you guys again for listening. And I think it's going to be really fun to see what our sign off is going to be and what this next year is going to bring. But so you can find us on TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube at Smut and Sensibility Pod. We are also on Blue Sky at smutandsensibility.bsky.social. And you can listen to us on, like I said, YouTube, Apple Podcasts, and Spotify. And we do have a Substack, which has been a little bit dormant, but we hope to kind of resuscitate that in the new year. There's only so much that we can do.
I know, goals.
We do have full-time jobs.
We do have other things, but one thing at a time. We can slowly improve. So we really appreciate your patience and accepting us as who we are. As it's oh, well, there's room for growth there. You are right. And we see it, and we're going to just slowly peck away at our to-do list.
Yes, exactly. So thank you guys so much for being here and for making the last 2.5 months of 2025 really fun and exciting, and something that we honestly, I didn't think was possible. So thank you so much for being here, and stay happy, stay healthy this season. And most importantly, Amber, stay smutty.
Stay smutty, y'all. Bye.
Bye.